In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how much it costs to start a new website from scratch. Did you know the most expensive website sold for a whopping $49.7 million? I mean, that was just the price for the domain carinsurance.com. Imagine the additional money they must be pouring into getting the rest of it built. And on the other hand, the cheapest website ever built? I couldn't find any hard stats, probably due to just how negligible the amount actually is. We're talking less than $100. Less than that if you got some skills that I'll share with you in this video. Hi, my name's Matt Diggity. I was once an electrical engineer and now I build websites for a living. I started my first website back in 2009 and it cost me $50 and a bunch of hard sweat and tears. And I made a fair few mistakes along the way that I'm sure cost me a pretty penny. Now I've run multiple seven-figure businesses, including LeadSpring, which has built and sold over 100 websites. But I had to start somewhere and that's why I'm filming this video. A common question I get is, how much money should you budget to start a new website? It's like asking the question how long a piece of string is, and it can be damn near impossible to get a straight answer online. Consider this video your straight answer. I'll show you how you can start with as little as $100 to build your own site. If you have a bit more to spend, a budget up to $1,500 can get you some fancy bells and whistles. No matter if you're building affiliate sites, dropshipping stores, or setting up an e-commerce business, I'll walk you through the ins and outs of planning your website budget. So let's dive right in. Now there's two common pathways to figuring out your website budget. The path you choose depends on three things: how much time you're prepared to invest, how much money you can reasonably spend, and what skills you or your team already have in your wheelhouse. With that being said, your first option is to bootstrap your way to a completed website. It takes more time and it often requires you to skill up fairly quickly, especially when it comes to creating web and search engine friendly content. Your ability to write a decent article can help you cut costs significantly when you're starting out. On the flip side of the coin, you can fast track your way there by leveraging your wallet. You can either build a team yourself or hire experts and service providers to do the heavy lifting for you. Many people who have some cash to spend don't really want to be dealing with the nitty-gritty technical details or the seemingly endless spiral of content production. They choose this pathway. Let's call it the fast track. Now there's no right or wrong answer here. Both pathways can get you to the same destination, you're just going to enjoy some different scenery along the way. Most people know where they sit at this point, but what are the next steps? How do you get from knowing your intended path to figuring out how much it actually costs to get your website up and built? Great question.
Good question.
The costs will break down into hard costs like your tech stack, essential ongoing costs like content and links, and variable soft costs like admin, design, strategy, and training costs either for you to skill up or your trained a team. Some of these are paid once up front and others recur monthly. Typically, a bootstrapped approach will have lower upfront fees and lower ongoing fees until the project takes off. At the start, if you don't have the budget, then you need to be spending time to get the best results. A fast track approach will see you spending a larger amount initially with an optional limit each month depending on how much you have to invest and how quickly you want to ramp up your success. So by the end of this video, you'll have a complete breakdown of each of these approaches. You'll see how if you're bootstrapping, you can build a successful website for about $100 in your first year cost and by investing 25 to 50 hours a month initially. If you're short on time or already have some money to invest, you can start at around $1,400 up front plus a minimum of $1,000 per month in recurring costs, but spend less than 2 hours a week managing it. Before we dig into how to achieve this kind of budget, if you like what I'm doing here, take a second to smash a like button. It's been proven that hitting the YouTube like button will get you 5 times as many brownie points from the karma gods, and no one wants to be stuck with bad karma right before a website build, right? In all seriousness, it's a small thing you can do to let me know you like my content and you want to see more of it. So please help a brother out.
Oh, this is nice.
Now let's start to look at the hard costs of building a website. These are the costs that are directly related to the website's construction. Without these costs, you cannot have a functional website working for you. The first of these costs is the cost of your website building platform. For most people, this is going to be free if you're building on WordPress. If you're building a site with e-com functionality, you could build from scratch if you hated your life. Though you're probably doing the smart thing and looking into platforms like WooCommerce, Shopify, or BigCommerce. These typically have recurring fees starting around $29 per month, except for WooCommerce, which has a free tier. Good news is you won't need to pay any hosting or security fees if you're on one of the other two platforms, since they take care of all that for you. For now, let's assume you're building with WordPress, since it's going to be one of the more versatile platforms you can work with in the long run. In which case, we're assuming no fees for either the bootstrapped or the fast track pathway. The next cost you're going to face is the domain name. The fees here greatly depend on how brandable the domain is, its length, and its extension. For instance, there are different prices for .com versus .co.uk versus .org. The best option for brandability, business growth, and price is to stick with a .com domain. If you're bootstrapping, look for a domain that is not classed as premium, since prices for those can be astronomical these days. Namecheap often has good deals on .com domains, and their rates start at around $8.88 per year. Of course, you can scope around and find cheaper options if you like. If brandability is important to you, and if you're considering a premium domain, the renewal fee will always be significantly smaller. You're usually just paying the buy-in fee up front, and it's up to you to decide what price of owning your brand online is worth to you. Usually this pathway is chosen by e-commerce stores with big brand visions. But it's not very viable for anyone starting off in the affiliate or dropping space without any funding behind them. For now, let's presume you're going with the cheap.com extension from Namecheap so we can get a clearer picture on running totals. Now that you've gotten a domain, the next step is to find a place for it to live in the digital world. And that's where hosting comes into the picture. And we start getting some wildly different prices when looking at different hosting companies. No wonder it's almost every day I see at least one post on Facebook asking for the best current hosting company. Seriously, do we need this asked every single day? Nevertheless, you're likely to find some super cheap hosting options for $2 a month. And while they may seem great for bootstrap projects, you'll ultimately be better off investing at least a little more in a reputable hosting company. A good hosting company can be the difference between waking up and having the freedom to smell the roses and walk on sunshine knowing your website is in good hands, versus experiencing a near-death heart attack followed by lethally high blood pressure trying to recoup a site that's gone down for no reason. Or worse, one that's been hacked and getting no support from your cheap-ass host because they wouldn't give a rat's butt in order to save yours.
Hello, IT? Have you tried turning it off and on again?
My friend, you deserve better. Much, much better, and it doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg to get it. Now, on the other side of the coin, we have the ultra expensive hosts. And you may be wondering if those guys are worth the price tag. For a beginner site, those expensive hosts are likely going to be major overkill. However, at some stage, you'll likely want to move your best performing sites onto a decent hosting company, since the higher price tag often gives you better bonuses like added security features, better site performance, and greater peace of mind. The other big thing that may factor into your decision here is how many websites do you intend on building. Always look for bulk deals on hosts, since you can buy many years in advance for multiple sites if you're building a portfolio. For our running total, I'd suggest that those on the bootstrap path check out a reputable company like SiteGround that offers hosting from $5.99 per month in the first year. That's a total of $71.88 for the first year. For anyone looking for better hosting, check out WPX. Their plans start at about $20 a month, but are a total breeze, and in my experience with them has been amazing. I moved all my money sites to WPX and I've never looked back. Check out the links and the coupon codes in the description for deals on both these hosts. The next hard cost we have here is security, which is often factored into your hosting fees. For instance, SiteGround has a free security plugin you can run. WordFence is another great solution that's free. If you want that extra bit of protection, iThemes and WordFence Premium are stable options with decent results. Their license starts at $75 per site per year, but iThemes also has an unlimited sites option for only $200 a year. It depends on how many sites you're running and what level of security you already get with your hosting company. For most people, this isn't something to worry about until your sites start getting big enough. So for our bootstrapped running total, let's opt in for the free options. If you're storing sensitive client info on your site and want to pay for a premium solution, that would bring the fast track option up to $323.88 per year for one website. Now, another question I always see in all the Facebook groups is, what are the best themes and plugins? Is Astra theme any good? What about NitroPack? Theme A promises world domination, whereas Theme B only promises the moon, the stars, and our solar system. Which is best for ultimate domination to the end of all universes and back? On a serious note, people can seriously overthink this stuff. You can start a website with a pretty decent free theme like Astra or Elementor's Hello theme. These are lightweight enough and beginner friendly too. Elementor's Page Builder is also a freemium option that integrates with both these themes rather seamlessly. With a bit of tweaking the performance, you can get acceptable site speed and web vital scores without spending a penny. As for plugins, unless you need special functionality like a payment gateway, custom forms, or a members area, it's likely you can get away with the free options. Want the best of the best? Then you're looking at an average theme cost of about $59 per site. This is what GeneratePress is currently going for. Other popular themes with decent out-of-the-box performance can cost you a little more, like Cadence starting around $70 per site per year, or Oxygen starting at $129 per year. If you want to spend on plugins, WP Rocket is the first I'd recommend, which will set you back about $49 per site on their lower tier. So by this point, our running totals look like this and can certainly go higher depending on how prone you are to shiny object syndrome. Let's also address the issue of a custom theme. It's really not worth it when starting out, as it requires constant constant maintenance and development upkeep. Now that's it for the hard costs, but there's more to consider. In particular, we have the essential ongoing costs to think about next. One of the biggest ones to think about is content production. For your site to succeed in gathering search engine visibility, you need to be adding new content on the regular. You should also make the time to upgrade older articles that have slipped off the rails. For most people, this means they need to find writers to support them. If you're not comfortable with researching, writing, and editing articles to fuel your new website, think about getting support early. My first point of contact is the Cult of Copy Facebook group. I've hired a bunch of talented writers through here and have also shared my process in a case study video. I'll drop a link to it in the description, so make sure you watch that after you watch this video. As far as costs go, the lowest cost per word I recommend you go with is about 5 cents per word. It is possible to find writers who charge lower than this, but many people find it's not sustainable in the long run. They get burnt out, or the quality is simply not up to par. A decent starting amount you should think about spending if you're going to outsource this is $500 a month, which would get you up to 10,000 word articles a month at this rate. However, you can order content at a similar cadence, like 4 or 5 articles per month, and pay less if you're starting with a lower budget. If you want the best of the best content, prepare to pay 3 figures per article for a content agency to take the whole process off your shoulders. So our running totals look like this for now, with the bootstrapped option assuming you'll DIY the content production and spend time instead of money. And the fast track option assumes you're paying the minimum suggested monthly amount to outsource the work. Naturally, if you're spending this much time or money on content, you'll want to give it the best chance to get promoted. And that's where link building comes into the picture. Like content production, you can DIY it for free. But if you want to save yourself the stress of reaching out to people, you can just buy vetted links from a platform like Authority Builders. Many agencies charge a minimum of 4 figures a month just for links, but in my business, Authority Builders, you can get it all off your hands for just $500 a month. Otherwise, you'll need to be spending 15 to 30 hours a month doing the prospecting, outreach, negotiations, and follow-ups yourself. You also need to build some wicked haggling skills in order to negotiate free placements. It can certainly be done, but I won't lie, don't expect it to be an easy breezy walk in the park. In either case, here's what the running costs would look like. Now at this point, we can't forget the essential costs of your SEO tools. Sure, you can get a long way with free tools like Ahrefs Webmaster Tools, Google Search Console, Google Analytics, plus so many more. But you're gonna need to consider tools to assist your overall SEO strategy and direction. In particular, tools that'll help with competitor research and keyword research at the very least. If you're bootstrapping, you can get away with front-loading all your research and using the free trial period of a tool like SEMrush to gather all the data you need. You can also consider investing in a lower cost alternative like Uber suggests, which at the moment offers a lifetime deal that starts at about the same price as 2 months worth of the pro level tools most SEOs use. If you can spare a little budget towards getting pro level tools, I'd suggest looking into Ahrefs and Surfer as your staples. Together, these will set you back $128 if you opt for their lowest tiers. This brings our running totals to the following. For the bootstrap version, I'm presuming you might go for the free trial method, and for the fast track, I've factored in the cost of starter packages of Ahrefs and Surfer. That's a wrap of the essential costs, which now only leaves the variable soft costs. These include admin, hiring, training, and design fees. We can put a fixed amount on the basic design needs of a website. If you're bootstrapping, you can get a fairly decent logo for as little as $20 on a platform like Fiverr. If you're investing in your brand's image, you might be looking at spending up to $1,000 for a professional designer to craft a logo and other brand collateral for you. The other soft costs vary greatly depending on your team setup, your own skills, and your ability to hire. Honestly, you probably won't need to hire anyone right at the start. Maybe a general VA who can help with small repetitive tasks would be your first hire. Then you'd be looking at writers, link builders, and content uploaders as your next hires. Either way, we can't put a clear price on these kind of costs right off the bat. The other thing that gets a little bit murky is training. Sure, you can access a wealth of free info online, like on my blog and YouTube channel. I share free information on how to start a successful site quite liberally, and I'm not the only one. You may even invest in a cheap course or two on Udemy, or you might feel like you need some more support to upskill. That's why I've created my course, the Affiliate Lab. Many beginners have successfully gone through it and started their own websites. I've left a link in the description for a free webinar so you can see what it's all about. Since the admin, hiring, and training costs are quite variable, I decided not to put a hard number on them. You can really start a website without spending a penny on these things. So now here's what we got. The cost of starting your own site could be as little as $100.76 if you're bootstrapping and paying for a cheap logo on Fiverr, or about $1,400 if you're going all in for the design and have opted in for some other optional extras along the way. In the bootstrapped option, you also need to consistently spend at least 25 to 50 hours a month creating content and outreaching for links without any SEO tools to support you. Whereas you can spend around $1,128 a month to have both content and links taken off your plate and the top tier SEO tools to help you out with research and on-page optimization. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it and please subscribe for more awesome content from yours truly.